So today we're reading Tāyanasutta, and these are the verses that you're familiar with because we chanted after the Patimokkha recitation. This sutta includes the circumstances, how these verses were recited. The verses can also be found in the Dhammapada, but here we're going to read them together with the story. Tanvarabo, can I ask you to read the first section until Ekamantangatasi?
Yes, I am. Savatinidanam atako tayano devaputto purana tikkakaro abhikantavanno kevalakappam jetavannam ophasetava yena bhagava tenupasankami upasankamitava bhagavantam abhivadetava ekamantam atrasi.
Thank you. I think you're able to give us some meaning of these sentences.
Okay, I think Savatinidanam is the chapter, no, Ajahn?
So not the chapter, but that this story originated in Savatthi. So that it happened at Savatthi.
Okay. So Devaputto, I think, is a kind of young class. Is a young class of devas that has been reborn as devas recently. I
That's
think.
right. Means the son of a deva. That's right.
Yes. And then he's called Tayano, and he was previously a leader of a religion.
That's right. Purana Tittakaro.
So in the
Let's
middle.
let's stop there for a moment. Just let's go through the sentence. So Savatthi Nidanang, this is a shortened introduction to say that this is the place where this happens. This story originates at Savatthi, and so the beginning of Atako, and then Tayano Devaputto Purana Tittakaro. So this is what's called a nominal clause. So all these are nominative forms. They describe the person who is being talked about. So you can imagine that, it's like each of them says the Tayana, who is the Devaputta, who is the Puranatittakaro, right? It points out who is performing the action.
How do you call this clause?
Again, please.
How do you call this clause?
Nominal clause.
Nominal clause.
It's called nominal because each of the items are in nominative form. So they are, and the connection is often implied. So it means Tayana, who is the Devaputta, like it describes the subject with the other nominative forms.
You can make arrows yourself.
Right? The son of a Deva, who is, so Purana is means before. Titta is a ford, like a place where you can cross the river. And this is a term used for either founders of a sect or a religious leader. And so previously he was such a leader, but then he was reborn in the Deva realms.
The Purana means old, but here it means like sort of old in the sense of in the past. He was a leader of some kind of sect.
So before or previously, right?
Yes.
Right? And so Abhikantaya Rattiya, you recognize Ratti is night. It's night, and so this is in the instrumental case. You can see the colors if you're not familiar with it yet. The declension's legend here shows you what the colors mean. So we use blue for instrumental meaning with something or by, right? And so in this case, it's this with. meaning that the instrumental is conveying that abhikkhanta is to progress or to pass, and so with the passing of the night, right? This is with the passing of the night, abhikkhanta vando, you recognize Tambarabo, do you recognize Vanna?
Vano is color, no? Color or beauty, no?
That's right. That's right. So here it means beauty. And so it's abhikkhanta beauty, so it's surpassing beauty. And this is the nominative of the next clause. So the verb here will be obhasetava. Recognize this, that this is makes radiant or illuminates.
Yes, like the end of the Dhammacakkappata Sutta.
That's right. We use this. This is not a uncommon word, but here it's used in the. You notice the here makes it a causative form. So something is made illuminated. Something is made radiant.
Having made it illuminated.
That's right. Having illuminated it.
Past participle.
Now you're thinking of absolutive. This construction is the absolutive or the gerund form.
Okay, that's right. So it's from obhaseti. Obhasa is the noun of the obhaso means light or radiance.
That's right. So having illuminated what? So the beauty is illuminating, and it illuminates what? It illuminates the jetavana. And so that's in the accusative case. And kevalakappang, this is an adjective qualifying jetavana, meaning that the entire jetavana is illuminated.
And Jen, what does kappa mean in this sense here?
Kappa here, kevala. So kevala is entire.
Yes.
And kappa is almost, usually, or in this case.
Entire. Complete.
But so kevala is entire or complete. And so you could say he illuminates almost the entire jetavana, but the sense is that he basically fills the whole place with light.
Sadhu.
Yeah, the word kevali is used sometimes in some contexts for like arahant because he's like completed or fulfilled.
Yeah, that's right. It's the perfected condition is something that is complete. Tambarabo, can you continue explain us the following?
So Yena Bhagavad Rupasankami is he approach to the Bhagavad.
That's right. So tenupasankami is the verb. It means approached. So it's in the past, approached the Blessed One. He goes wherever he was, right? He approached him.
Yes. Then having approached, this is the absolutive. Bhagavantam abhivadetava. Bhagavantam is the accusative, and abhivadeti is high. I mean, bowing to him or
paying respects or
worshipping.
worshipping.
And then he stay at one side because normally the devatas don't sit; they stay.
Stand. They're always in the
right.
painting.
The devata didn't sit down. He stood at one side.
Yes.
Yes.
So you recognize this from Ta, right? Ta is always some kind of standing or stage or being upright. And so Ta is also used for standing, and so here it's in the aorist form. It gets the A from the past tense, and so atta si. He stood. he stood to one side.
Ekamantang is one end, literally anta is end, but can be also side, on one side.
That's right. Or one. This is the same word that you use for the two extremes, daveyanta, but here it's just he stood at one side. Ajahn Gavisako, can you continue, please? Until Bhavasi.
Ekamantang tito ko Tāyano devaputto bhagavato santike imma gathayo abhasi. Ekamantang tito, so standing to one side. So tito in this case is the one who is standing, part of many names. Tita, tito, standing, stable, steady. And then the tito who is standing is Tāyano devaputto. So the Tāyana, the Deva's son. Yeah, exactly. So it qualifies both Tāyano and devaputto. That's why they have the same ending, nominative ending.
Yes, and apparently interesting thing was I saw in the dictionary that Tāyana means a protector.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Which was an interesting,
Okay.
like the dictionary gives his the meaning of his name as protecting or preserving.
Yes, very good. And then ko is just a kind of filler word, particular meaning. Bhagavato santike, that means in the presence. Santike. Santika means that's used quite often, just in the presence or nearby. And Bhagavato is the ablative form, I think. No. That's Bhagavato santike. I think it's the dative. It's the genitive form, I think, is in this case. It's the presence of the Blessed One, I think, unless it takes some other form. So in the presence of the Blessed One, ima gathayo, so gatha is the feminine form, but here is the plural. So gatha is one gatha, means one verse, but gathayo is several verses. Ima is these verses. He spoke, abhase. It's from bhasati, to speak.
That's right. And the commentary has an explanation about the Deva who is going to speak the verses. And at the meeting notes on the website, you can read the translation of that section. I don't want to analyze the whole thing, but they basically asked that Ayam Panaditting Upadetava, so that he was the leader of another sect, like he was not a follower of the Buddha at the time, and so the implication is that he had wrong view, like he had the wrong view of other teachers. And they asked that having given rise to that wrong view, how is it, like katang, how is it that in heaven, sagge nippattoti, that he was reborn in heaven? That having wrong view, how was he able to attain a rebirth in a good destination? And they explained that he, even though he had a wrong view, like it just means he was following a different teaching other than the Buddha, other Buddhas. But he believed in Kamma, that the religion that he was following was still Kammavadi, that it was a religion that still taught the doctrine of cause and that your actions will bring results of the same kind. And so he was Kammavadi, he was Kamma saying, Kamma teaching, and Ta gives the ness or hood, and the Aya in the end puts it in the instrumental case. So he was reborn in heaven through or by believing in Kamma, and so Esa refers to this one or him. Esa kira uposata Bhatta dini adasi. So you recognize bhatta is food or rice. Adi is the etc. Adasi is the past form of giving. So he gave food and other items at uposatas, and it goes on that he established alms centers and he did other virtuous deeds, and so he was reborn in the Deva realms. And so he recites the following verses in the presence of the Buddha. Ajahn Kongrit, can I ask you to continue with the first line? Or the first verse until Upapajjati.
Chinda sotaṁ parakkamma ka me panuda brahmana napahaya muni kame nekatta upachati.
Thank you. So in the first line, do you remember the meaning here?
Chinda sotaṁ parakkamma. Sotaṁ hurt, I think.
Not in this case. It's the same form, but here sota is a stream.
Stream.
Like the Sotapatti, like the stream enterer, but here it's a different stream. The commentary will explain that it's a tanha sotaṁ. And Chinda is in the imperative, so it's instruction. So you should cut. You should cut. What you should cut? You should cut the stream. And parakkamma is in gerund form, so continuously striving or making continuous effort. You should cut the stream. You should cut the stream by continuous effort. And the stream here, the commentary explains that sotaṁ here refers to tanha sotaṁ. So the stream of craving. So kami panuda brahmana is the next line. So kame is here is a plural accusative. So accusative usually you recognize it from the ang, the diggahita, ang. But here it's in the plural, it has the a ending. That's how you recognize that. And panuda is to dispel or remove. Then here this is the verb. Dispel, remove, and Brahmana is he's addressing us. He addresses the holy man, the Brahmin, in the vocative. So you should cut, you should dispel, remove. And kama here, so it's in its rough meaning, this is sensual pleasure, sense desire. But kama, it's also just subtle wishes. Like it can be coarse desire, but also just wishes. Any sense object that is attracts your attention will be attractive through kama. And we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Ajahn Gavisaku, can you explain us the next line, please?
Nappahaya munikame nekatang upabhajati. So here again, so kama is the plural of kama. So kama is the sensual pleasures. So kame is the plural. So the muni is the sage, again referring same as the brahmana. Here is called the muni, sage. And nappahaya means not having abandoned the sensual pleasures. So that refers to that qualifies the kame. But because it's poetry, you can put the words in any order you want. So paha. So this is from like pahana, pahataba. Okay, if we chant in the Dhammacakka Sutta, the thing that should be abandoned, right, is the second one of truth should be abandoned. So that's the same word here. So nappahaya, not having abandoned the sensual pleasures. Then the sage, nekatang upapajjati. So that is na ekatang upapajjati. Upapajjati means to arise, and ekata means oneness. Oneness in the sense of, I think here is in the sense of like samadhi or gathering the mind. So not arising oneness. Oneness does not arise.
That's right. So commentary gives us the explanation for a few of these words, so that the Chinda just comments that Chinda is a general comment, so remove or cut. And then Sota is Tāyanasutta. And this is a rather interesting thing here, is that, how is Tanha a stream? So that you have Tanha Sutta. Zoom in a little bit. We'll try to explain this term better. So you remember, for example, that Tanha is also the Bhavanetti. Bhavanetti means the channel, the channeling or conduit for Bhava, or the leader of Bhava. And so this is what directs. Tanha is the one that is directing and creating Bhava. And you'll remember from the chanting from Dhammacakka is that Tanha is Bonobhavika. That, it's creates new rebirth, new Bhava. Tanha creates, it makes things come up again and again. So the stream, the stream is this continuous grasping. You're always grasping the next thing through kamma, through tanha, grasping at signs. So grasping is, when we talk about tanha, then it's always connected to upadana and bhava, isn't it? So because of the formula in the dependent origination, is that you have to remember that there has, what is it that is being grasped? That the grasping is the grasping of signs, which is this is the sankha. So signs that are acquired. A term that is copy this. So two phrases that come up with sankha is naupeti sankhang. Like the arahant, for example, cannot be defined by any sign that he grasps. So it's undefined. It's not, has no measure. So upadana creates signs by making distinction of this between that. This is larger than that one. This is my internal. This is my external. These distinctions are only possible by grasping some kind of signs. And so through that grasping is the papancha is creating proliferation of concepts and construction of these signs. And so this is what gives the This is what gives constructing power to the sankharas, but the signs and sankharas, they have different roots. So you should remember that sankha is from the root ka, where ka is to tell or announce. You know, how do you tell something from something else? How do you make distinctions? You're looking for some kind of sign on it. You know, you're looking for some kind of pattern, some kind of perception that has to give rise to a definition, a measurement. But through grasping it, the fabrications are created, the sankhara, but although the form seems very similar, it's from a different root. So sankhara, conditioning or made up things, is from kar, which is to make or to do. Right? And if you think about, you know, that this is implied, quite deep meaning is implied in Tāyanasutta. And you could also ask, you know, what is the experience of cutting the stream? Right? What does that look like? Where do the teachings talk about when is the stream cut? And so a way to think about that is that tanha is for example, so tanha is also called the seamstress, like the lady who is joining things, the seamstress. And so connecting seeing and seen, internal, external, here and there. These are all making connections through tanha. So here, tanha is not that. The reference is to a very subtle sense of craving. It's not the rough craving objects that Vinaya instruction is often talks about, but the experience of cutting the stream is, do you remember from Bahia Sutta that in the scene there will not be there
will be just the scene.
There will be just the seeing, ditte ditta mattam. Like there's no distinction made between seeing and seen, or heard and hearing. Mute
Or
vinyate.
somebody who hears. Yeah.
That's right. You're not creating these signs. And then, you know, how do you decide to think about this process? That by what process do you decide that I am here and I am not there? And standing up from here, I go there. These are grasping signs. These are creating something that moves from one place to another. Something that is in the scene, we imagine. This is the imagination, the manyati, imagining. And so when the Buddha describes to Bahia, gives him the instruction that if you don't do this, then you are neither here, you are neither there, you're neither in between, and this is the end of suffering. That's when the stream of craving is cut. That's when the Tāyanasutta is ended. This is a description of the way an arahant perceives his experience. Little bit of a tangent, but this was good to bring out. So, and then commentary goes into the other terms. Just parakkamma is that continuous effort, parakkamitava, viryankatava, so effort, making continuous effort. And so with karma, it talks about the desire of defilements, but also objects of desire. So anything that is would be distracting you from attaining jhana. You know why? Why is it that you're not attaining jhana? Is something distracts you? You're right. Your mind wanders off into some desire object, And so this is why the mind doesn't unify, because the kilesa, the desire for defilement and the desire of some object, distracts the mind from unity.
Just to mention that this is a commentarial distinction, which is quite useful, because in the suttas often they use the word karma and it's translated as sensuality, but and you can ask, is it like thoughts of sensuality or is it the objects outside? So they have this word kilesa karma, which is the sensuality, which is the internal defilement of the mind. And then there is vatu karma, that vatu is an object. So that's the actual physical external object that is directed at.
That's right. And the last phrase is to explain is that such as it is said, idam buddhang hoti kame ajahidava, so unabandoned desires, the sage, the jhana, doesn't arise. He can't produce, he doesn't experience it. That's the meaning. Okay, we can continue with the verses now. Ajanga Vesako, can I ask you to... you did some reading. Can I... who is... that's right. Venerable Nyanatejo, please, next verse.
Karyache karyatenang dalamenang parakkamme sitilohi paripajo biho akirete rajang.
Very good. What do you recognize from the verse?
Not much. Bio means more, akirete, not doing. So the karya comes from karoti, I guess. So it will have something to do with doing. So doing and...
So che is if.
Yeah.
So if something should be done, karya is an optative.
Uh-huh.
So this is correctly, you recognize the root from kar, to do something. And this is an optative form, meaning if something should be done or something might be done, something needs to be done.
Okay, good, yeah.
Then that should be the then that should be said here karya ta. Then this is the imperative form, which is you should do it. It gives you an instruction. So if something should be done, then do it properly.
Yeah, because dalha I should recognize, because that's the same as the dalikama, which came up recently.
This word is familiar to you?
Yes.
And so dala means strong or firm.
But the apostrophe should be after the M. So dalhang enam. Ena is like that thing in accusative.
That's right.
Okay.
Dalhang
Okay.
and enam is this. That this firmly or this strongly should be done continuously.
Yeah, so parakkame, that's the same verb that was in the last verse.
Right, continuous effort, and here it's in the optative, and so this should be done. This may be done strongly or should be done properly.
Yeah,
what we say.
If something's worth doing, do it properly.
That's right. That's so. Sitilo hi paripajo. So sitilo is to be lax or to be lazy. So this is again just nominative clauses. So the one gone forth, like the paripaja.
Okay.
The paripaja who is lazy. This nominative idea is worth getting used to, is that especially in verse forms, you often don't have the verbs between this is that. It just has this nominative string of words that sitilo, paripajo, but the two things qualify one another.
Okay.
So the one gone forth, who is lazy.
But I think here it's actually not the person. I think here what it means, paribhajaka is the wanderer, yeah, like wanderers of other sects, paribhajaka. But here it's the wandering. It's the wandering life. Paribhajo is the wandering life, I think. Which is like
ascetic life.
Yeah.
Is referring to one's monastic life, right? This is so the monastic life, which is lazy.
But then the heed implies because, no? So it's because of a monastic life that is lazy.
Here it's more like an emphasis.
Ah, okay.
So indeed, surely, certainly, it's an emphatic marker.
Okay.
So bio is something that is more or increasing, and akirate is to
stir up
or kicks up dust. Raja is dust or dirt, and here the reference is to kilesa raja. Usually rajang is, what is the dust that is the eye of beings? Why beings who have little dust in their eyes, what is that dust? It's the kilesas. So
that's the same word in the Satta Aparajakajatika, in the introduction to the Brahma Sahambhati, what he's asking. Raja.
I break up a little bit. I need something for my stomach. Something in my stomach a little bit upset since the morning. We'll come back.
The commentary gives us the meaning that we discussed, so that something that should be done with good effort, kareyata, tangviryang, na osakeya, should not be, the effort should not be laxed. Dalamenang parakkamma should be made with strong effort. Sitilagata papaja, like just confirms the same meanings. And so you see here, bio akirati rajanti, he explains that aterekam upari kilesa rajang akirati, that he just kicks up all the more kilesa raja. Venerable Atanyu, can I ask you to continue, please?
Yes. Akatang dukatang seyo pacha tapati dukatang katansha sukatang seyo yang katawa nanu tapati.
Thank you.
So
what do you recognize, please?
Akatang, so from katang is done, so akatang not done. And dukatang it's so katang again done, dukatang badly done or wrongly done.
Well, here it's wrong deeds, like bad actions.
And say you better.
It is better that wrong actions are not done.
And
Dukatang, so these are here neuters, and so their nominative forms doesn't end with o, but the nominative ends with the ang, and so dukatang as a neuter, and akatang qualifies dukatang, and that's why it also is in that ending, and it is better. It is better that wrong deeds are not done. So pachatapati dukatang, do you recognize the meaning?
Okay, so pacha is later, after, later, after. Tapati burns, harms. And dukatang again wrongly done.
Mistake.
Mistake.
So mistakes or wrong actions will burn you later. Very good. You will burn with the wrong actions. So please continue. We reverse the. So this is the bad example, and now we have the good example.
So katansha something something done katansha sukatam is like the opposite of dukatam, so good good deeds.
That's right.
And yes, seyo again is better. So something yeah, how to put that? Something good, no, something done rightly.
Better do good deeds. Good
right.
deeds are better done. You
Better
should do
done.
good deeds. So bad deeds, like dukkatang, they are better undone. But good deeds, sukkatang, they are better done.
Done.
Very good.
And
Yeah,
young,
katavana tappati.
so young is which
That's right, referring to the sukkatang.
Yes. So kata was so having done.
Correct?
Nanutapati is no regrets. So does not regret.
That's right, from now.
So yeah. So when it's done, doesn't
burn you.
Doesn't make you regrets, basically. So the good deeds, yeah.
Okay, so it has the tapa in it as well. So is it the play of words, or they have the same root? Because pacha tapati, nanu tapati.
Anutappati. Let's see.
Is the same, but I think the double P, there might be a. Let's have a look. Tapati. There might be different versions of this. I think in our chanting, the first one might also have double P.
Uh-huh.
But it's from the same root, tapo, tapati, to burn. And anutapati means like following you, burning you after.
Oh, the Patimokkha. No, that's the wrong one. What is this? Just a Patimokkha chants. Tāyanasutta.
I'm sure often there are variant spellings of this in different versions.
Yeah, so in our chanting book in the Bhikkhu manual, they both have double P.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, you come across these variations quite a lot.
One of the other Italian brothers, Venerable Jayaviru, can I ask you to continue with the next verse?
Okay, can try first. Kuso, is it right? No, we just read it.
Yes.
Kuso, okay. Kuso yata dugahito atameva no kantati samanyandu paramatang nirayayu pakatati. So we can try to some
What do you
translation.
recognize?
Kuso is the grass.
That's right.
Kuso grass. Yata, I don't know.
Like it makes a comparison.
Okay, so it's like the kusa grass is when grasped wrongly.
That's right. Gahita is to grasp, and so duga is bad grasping. Like you say, durkar, bad deeds, duga, bad grasping.
Hatta meva no kantati. So hatta is the hand, and anukantati in the translation you write cuts. So cuts the end. I'm not sure about Eva. Eva, what does it mean?
Surely or indeed. So it's another emphatic.
It just cuts the hand.
Oh.
You can also just
Okay, so samanyang is the ascetic life, is it?
It's the condition of samana.
The condition of samana.
Of samana, but if you want to make it into like an abstract noun, then it becomes samanya. Samanya means the monkhood.
Monkhood, yes, okay. And duparamatan, so wrongly held. So monastic life wrongly held, monkhood wrongly held. Niraya upakadati drags one down to hell.
That's right. So niraya is hell, and the ya ending gives you the dative sense. And dative, that sense is that for the purpose or for the direction, for the target of something. So upakadati is to drag something down, and so dragging it to hell, nirayaya. Is the monkhood, the religious life that is wrongly practiced, that is wrongly grasped.
The paramatha you recognize from Silabbata Paramasa is the same word. Silabbata Paramasa is like the wrong grasping of virtue and practices, and I think that's what it's actually what the Buddha was like criticizing in these other ascetics, that they were doing all kinds of practices, but with a kind of wrong understanding, wrong grasping. So that's the word. Just paramatha. Paramasati means to kind of grasp or touch or something.
And your other friend there is Pemasilo.
Tidapemo.
Tidapemo. Venerable, please give us the last verse.
Yam kinchi sitilam kamam sankilitancha yam vatam sankasaram brahmacharyam natham hoti mahapalanti.
Thank you. Please explain what you recognize.
Basically, some words from the others, basically chanting, but I don't know what does it means. Like yam kinchi.
Yam kinchi means whatever, literally whatever. Yang is like what, which. Kinchi is something, so yam kinchi is whatever.
Whatever. Sitilam, I don't know.
Is here here Sitila, it says.
It's before probably.
Somewhere.
You already seen it.
Loose, some kind of loose or
lax on, okay.
Lax.
Kammam is, I think. Action, yes.
Any kind of doing, but he might be referring to some particular kammang in the sense of some kind of ascetic practices, but here it just says action. Yeah.
Ok, quindi yes, qualsiasi whatever action is lax, basically, is lax. Sankilancha tarnished, then turn in yam vatam, I don't know.
So again,
Vata is a duty or a religious practice or an observance.
Exactly. Vata.
And so Sankilita is something that is defiled or impure.
Okay. Sankilitam means something that is obscured, defiled. It's from kilesa, the same word. Kilesa here becomes kilita, is that which has been defiled, made impure.
So that is a duty or an observance that is defiled, that is done impurely.
Okay.
So the laziness, lazy action, whatever is done lazily or with not proper effort, then that is a defiling observance. It's not purifying.
That's why the next verse talking about doubtful brahmacharya, right?
That's right. So the brahmacharya, a holy life.
Yes, exactly.
A holy life which is doubtful, which is suspect or suspicious. Here the compound sankasara is sara is from anusarati, to remember, and so you remember it with doubt, you remember it with suspicion. something that you're not sure that it was done well. And so a suspected or doubtful holy life. And what is the meaning of the last phrase?
Mm-hmm.
You recognize Pala from Mahapala?
Mahapala, yes.
So
Big
this
fruit.
is fruit.
Big. Oh,
Fruit,
yes.
that's right.
Grande, Maha is big.
Big. And then pala is fruit.
If you know Thai, you know.
Yes.
You know Thai can help.
Yes. Mahapala, pon is pala is fruit.
Oh, Oti is B.
To be, okay, it is. But na, oti means isn't,
Okay.
is not. Na, taṁ is that. That is not grapefruit.
That's right. Very good.
Thank you.
And the
That's
T,
the-
if you don't know, then the T, so it should be mahapalang actually, ang at the end, but iti means the end of a sentence, so that it gets shortened like this, like at the end of the sutta.
In the end of our chanting on the evening.
The commentary gives us the meaning that we talked about is that whatever
Sorry.
is done not completely, not well, then anyang piyankinchi sidlankat evarup. So we talked about this. So for example, an example the commentary gives that the advice, so here sasana, or it's usually meaning the Buddha's teaching, but here it's the advice in this instruction. Dutanga vatang, so vata is, we talked about this is an observance or religious practice. So a religious practice that is undertaken for the reason, hetu, for the reason of requisites, then this is indeed defiling or defiled. So the meaning is that if somebody is practicing the brahmacharya, the holy life, because they want to receive offerings, they desire to have more possessions, they desire to have a good dwelling, a nice place to live, that this is a desire that is defiling their brahmacharya, because their intention is to heap up, to accumulate possessions, requisites. Right? That's a wrong livelihood in the brahmacharya. So this would be sankaya saritang, this would be remembered with doubt, remembered with uncertainty. And that's right, so then it ends with saying that this is the proper actions, maintaining effort is the adi, here is the essence or something that comes before, like a precondition, like the precondition or essence or foundation of the brahmacharya is to not fall into these defiling ways of wrong livelihood. But we'll return to this instruction at the end of it as well. So the end of the sutta is that Tambarabo, can you please continue?
Yes, Ayan. Etata bocha Tayano Devadutto, Idang Batawa Bhagavantam, Abhivadetawa Padakinang Katawa, Tattave Tatta Oi, Tattevantaradai.
Thank you.
That was what Tayano said, the son of the Devas.
That's right. Idang avocha, this was said by the Tāyanasutta.
Having said this, and having bowed to the Buddha,
That's right.
he made the rites he surrounded he 3 times, I suppose. He made
Yes,
to the right.
the parakkamma is literally means to the right, but it's something that is auspicious, and the reference is that he circumambulates him, or he leaves him to the with the right.
You circumambulate with your right shoulder towards the Buddha always, so or towards anything sacred. That's what it means.
So having, just shortens it to making the right. Circumambulating with the right side. And then
Antaradai is to disappear and just disappear from there.
correct. That's right. So he recites the verses, he pays respect and circumambulates the Buddha, and then poof, he disappears.
Yes.
Tanatan, can you please continue for us?
Yes, again. Atako Bhagawa Tassa Ratiya Achayena Bhikkhu Amantesi. So then indeed the Blessed One after the Blessed One after having
So Rati is the night.
The night, yes, passing the night.
That's right. Achayena is with the passing or with the end of the night.
Yes, he addressed Amantesi.
Bhikkhu Amantesi, that's right, addressed the bhikkhus.
The bhikkhus.
Imang bhikkhave ratting Tāyano nama devaputto purana tittakaro abhikkantaya rattiya abhikkantavanno kevalapakapang jetavanang obasatava yena hangtil upasankame. This is how we read the introduction in the beginning, is that these bhikkhus, now bhikkhus, with this imang ratting, this night, the Devaputto named Tāyana, who is a previous leader of a religion, Abhikkantaya Rattiya, during the progress of the night, lighting up almost the entire Jetavana with his extreme radiance, Yenahang Tinupasankami approached me. Then Upasankamitava mang abhivaditava ekamantang attasi. Then he relates that the Devaputta Tāyana, having approached mang abhivaditava, to me, having paid respect, and stood ekang antang attasi, stood to one side. Venerable Jayaviro, can you please continue?
Kamantam tito ko bhikkhave Tāyano Devaputto mamma santike imaga tayo apachi. So standing one side.
That's right.
Tāyano, the son of the Deva, in the presence, Santike.
Yes. Mama Santike, that's right, in my presence.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, spoke these verses. These verses.
Verses, that's right, Gatayo is plural. Spoke these verses, and so the Buddha then repeats the verses. And this is significant for the reason that one of the highest praise you can get from the Buddha for your opinion is that he repeats what you said. Is that if something is so well said that the Buddha thinks this is worth being spoken by a Tathagata, then he repeats it after the speaker who has said it. And so from that point, you can take it as words that you heard from the Tathagata himself. That he really liked how the Devaputta expressed his instruction for training.
Like a
And
stamp, right?
Again, please?
Like a stamp from the Buddha.
That's right, like a seal of authority that this is something that he really approved of. And then Sutta explains that having said this, the Buddha explains that having said this, Tāyana Devaputta may have paid respects, circumambulated him to the right, and disappeared right there. Ajahn Gavesako, can you please finish the last 2 lines for us, please?
Ugganhatha bhikkhave Tāyanagata, Pariyapunatha bhikkhave Tāyanagata, Dharetha bhikkhave Tāyanagata, Atthasangita bhikkhave Tāyanagata, Adi Brahmacharikati. So that's the Buddha giving the instruction or urging the bhikkhus to learn and memorize these verses. So Ugganhati means to grasp something, just like we say in English, to grasp something means to learn it, to acquire something. So Ugganhata means plural. So it's speaking to plural, several bhikkhus, and giving like a command, order. Pariyapunati means the similar thing, to learn something, like to learn the Patimokkha is, I think in the Vinaya they actually use both of these words, to Ugganhati, Patimokkha, to grasp it, and to Pariyapunati, to learn it, memorize. So he says, you should memorize these verses of Tāyana, and then Dharetha. Dharat is from Dharet. It literally means to bear, bear in mind. Yes, exactly.
Its literal sense is holding it.
Holding it in mind, yes.
So carrying it in mind, you're holding it in mind.
Mm-hmm. And then he says, why? Of course, why the Atthasangita bhikkhave Tāyanagata. So the verses of Tāyana are connected with the goal or connected with the meaning. So Samhita is like to be connected with, to be associated with. Attha can mean the goal, like the final goal of Nibbana, or it can just generally it means Attha is meaning, something that is meaningful, purposeful. Meaning, purpose, the highest goal. So it's connected with the goal, and Adi Brahmacharika. So these, it means it belongs to the essentials of the holy life. Adi means the beginning of something, but it means in the sense of the essence of it, the really precondition, of the Brahmacharya. And Brahmacharika means the Tāyanagatha. So the Gatha is Brahmacharika. That's why the ending is feminine.
That's right. Brahma, in this case, the Adi Brahmacharya is qualifying the Tāyanagata.
Yeah, it's something that belongs, I think it's translated usually Bhikkhuvadi, it belongs to the essence of the holy life or something.
Thank you. That was excellent.
Now we know what we are